Boom! Florida State has landed another offensive lineman, D-Lou. It just keeps on going. Florida State now has received a commitment from 2022 offensive tackle Daughtry Richardson. Dustin, you've been all over this one. You've been interviewing him all over the place. But Florida State gets a big cat out of Miami. 6'4", 285, will be playing for Miami Central this upcoming season. D-Lou, tell us a little bit about that commitment interview that you had with him and Richardson overall.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I had been trying to get in contact with Daughtry like all of last week just to get an interview on his upcoming commitment to kind of break down the contenders and some things like that. And we had some trouble getting in contact with one another. And I was sitting on Friday, I was eating my lunch, just watching some TV. Yeah. And I got a phone call and it was Daughtry calling me and I'm like, what is this? So I pick up and he's like, hey man, just want to apologize that we haven't been able to do that interview this week. But I just wanted to let you know on Sunday, I'm committed to Florida State. So I was like, I had to put down my chicken and do an interview with Daughtry. And I mean, he's a really great kid. This is one where Florida State has really been working on him since last year. He picked up the offer in July of 2020. Already has those Tallahassee ties with some family members living here and having played at Godby for, I believe it was 2 seasons. So he grew up a Florida State fan. It's always been his dream to play at FSU. But really, I mean, the main factor that came down in this recruitment was, and I mean, we've heard it with just about every offensive lineman that's committed to Florida State, is Alex Atkins. And I mean, he's been just phenomenal on the coaching trail. And, you know, it really seems like if Florida State didn't have Alex Atkins, they might not have landed Daughtry Richardson today. He was that good in this recruitment.
Yeah, Coach Atkins is on a beast role right now and recruiting for FSU, and you're looking at it now, got it listed here on the notes. That's a Florida State's 5th offensive lineman that's committed, and it seems like it's not anywhere maybe close to being done yet. There's still a lot of targets on board that they're after, some big time targets with some talent too, but they just keep on building and building. You know, is he in town this weekend for this recruiting event?
No, he couldn't make it into town because I think he's doing workouts with his high school. They're getting ready to go into fall camp. But like you said, Logan, I mean, there's still a ton of guys on the board who could eventually wind up being Seminoles. I mean, right now, as we speak, obviously Elijah Pritchett and Essen Harris, 2 other high targets or 2 other guys that are high on the board, both on campus for FSU's recruiting event. You've got Jalen Early's announcement coming up on August 2nd, and then we'll see about Julian Armella. So, I mean, plenty of traction still to be gained for Florida State. We'll see how everything shakes out.
Yeah, they're looking at some film here. Definitely a true tackle. Pretty quick, too.
Yeah, I would say the difference between him and some of the other guys that FSU has committed is, you know, he doesn't have, and I'm not saying this is like a negative thing, he doesn't really have any bad weight. So like to compare to someone else like Kanaya Charlton, when he comes in, FSU strength and conditioning program is going to need to work with him to lose a little weight. It's on the opposite side for Daughtry. They're going to need to get him on kind of a bulking up nutrition plan, get him in that weight room and with Josh Storms to keep building his frame. So,
yeah. You have to tell me, this will be good while we're watching film, but while we were talking about it before we started recording, but Richardson gave you a pretty funny quote that I think that FSU fans would love to hear.
Which one you want? You want the funny one first or the Alex Atkins quote?
Give me the funny one first while we're watching this film.
So the funny one, I was just talking about. I was talking to him about his play style and kind of where FSU sees him at. So he's going to be playing offensive tackle. If I had to take a guess, I would assume he's probably going to slot in as a right tackle for Florida State. But he was describing his play style, and he just said he's very aggressive. And he said he likes to send kids to Daughtry's day camp. So this is the quote he gave to me. He said, all the fans that are sleeping on me and stuff, that have something negative to say about me, I don't really care what they have to say at the end of the day. I'm a dog. I'm aggressive. Daughtry's day camp. I'm bullying any kid that lines up in front of me. You're going to have to get your mama, your daddy, because I'm bullying you. So it sounds like he wants to put some people into the dirt.
It does sound like he's a little mean, what you would love to hear. You'd love to hear it because up there in the trenches and definitely as an offensive lineman, offensive tackle, in particular, you like that aggressive dog.
Yeah, you want people that are nasty and that are going to get after it. And this is a guy, he's a 3-star right now. Really, he's a top 500 prospect. So on the fringe of being a 4-star. We'll see how his senior season shakes out. But I know for a fact he's going into things very motivated. During our interview, he was saying that he plans to be a 5-star at the end of his senior season. I don't know if we're going to see that much of a rise, but I do think as long as he performs well, especially at a high school like Miami Central, that's going to get a lot of recognition and visibility, there's definitely a chance for him to shoot up in the rankings and get that extra star.
Absolutely. We talked about it before we were recording, and he's going to be playing against some really good competition. He was already there before in Miami, but moving into this Miami Central department there, and the amount of talent that he'll be facing weekly, definitely as an offensive tackle facing defensive linemen, that's going to be huge for him and has the potential to move up. But with him, like you said, I don't think he's going to have to work on trimming off any kind of bad weight, but adding on some will help. But he's got some quick feet. He moves to the second level pretty smoothly. And, watch it a little bit here. Just go ahead and sit down.
Yeah. Like you said, very athletic, quick feet. He's got a good punch. And I mean, the good thing about his frame is now Florida State can kind of build him up a little bit. And he's got that frame where he can definitely add some more weight and still keep that athleticism and those quick feet, which is definitely what Florida State's going to want out of him.
Absolutely. Gilly here, my cat, is also excited about the commitment. We're going to toss her to the ground just like Richardson
just did.
That cat is nonstop needing attention. But I get what you were doing there. I get what you were doing. But this is going to be Florida State's 16th overall commitment in the 2022 class. This moves Florida State up to number 9 in the country, trying to creep back up there. Pretty impressive still to stay in that top 10. And, we're going to keep coverage on all of this recruiting. It's going to get busy for the next couple of days as some of the players and talent, some of the best talent in the country, definitely in the 2023 class, are in the Moore right now visiting the staff. You've got multiple 5-stars in attendance right now. Gilly, I think, is going to try to get in contention to get inside that more, it feels like. But, we'll keep full coverage on that. I highly suggest you guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you're in the Discord, patreon.com/NoleGameday. Any last thoughts, D-Lou?
Yeah, I'm not done yet. I don't know why you're doing this.
Well, not done yet. D-Lou's got more for us. I love it.
So I was going to move into my next quote. I was talking to him about, the current commits that he knows and if guys like Travis Hunter or AJ Duffy being committed had any impact on him committing to FSU. And he was telling me he knows basically all of the current guys that are committed to FSU, has a good relationship with Travis Hunter. And this is him specifically on Kashawn Sapp and AJ Duffy. He said, Kashawn, that's my boy. I talk to him all the time. I already knew he was committing to Florida State because he told me where he was going and said he needed me right next to him. AJ Duffy, I definitely have a relationship with him. That's QB1 right there. We're going to give him the best protection ever when he steps inside the program. And he also said that he talked to Chris Parson a little bit on Thursday whenever he committed to Florida State. So, I mean, it sounds like he's locked in, and his next focus now is going to be putting the recruit hat on himself and going after his teammate and 4-star linebacker Wesley Basaint. Said he's going to be in Wesley's ear. Obviously, he, along with Marvin Jones, kind of struck up some controversy last month with the Hurricanes fan base whenever they were doing I don't even know how you would say, they're putting the U down in the photos, Logan.
Yeah.
Miami fans were getting really upset about it.
Little hissy fits we saw.
Yeah, so we'll see how all that shakes out. But, there's a lot of ties there to Florida State, and it certainly helps with having a teammate committed that can hopefully keep talking to him and get that flip to happen. And, we've talked about it before, but Florida State, they've got a lot of guys that are committed that have a teammate that Florida State wants that are now trying to go after him. So you think of Jarrell Powers with Jalen Early, you think of Sapp with Jerron Willis, and now you've got Daughtry Richardson with Wesley Basaint.
You got to think that the Miami fans aren't going to be so happy about this once this goes live just in about 45 minutes. But, it just is what it is. And Coach Atkins keeps staying in his bag. I love these pictures, though, whenever he was visiting Florida State back in early June. I mean, this one's awesome. And I love the fact that, he's already looking ahead and wanting to protect his quarterback. And you're looking at AJ Duffy, who, is going to move up those rankings also. But they're building a crazy offensive line class, and like we talked about earlier, D'Lo, it just doesn't seem like it's anywhere close to being done, which is motivating to see, say the least.
Absolutely. And I mean, man, can Florida State, whatever Alex Atkins want, you pay him what he wants, and then you give him 50% on top of that. Give him whatever title.
Commissions.
I don't care if he's co-head coach or something. Make sure that this man never gets out of Tallahassee. I want the state locked down. The state line's locked down if he takes another job somewhere else. I mean, you cannot lose him right now. The momentum Florida State has on the offensive line is just absolutely insane. Haven't seen anything like it in quite a while. And this is just the last quote that I'll add in here for now. Daughtry Richardson, on why he wanted to be a Nole, said, "It's Coach Atkins, honestly. The relationship that I have with Coach Atkins is crazy. It's bigger than football with him. It's always bigger than football. He worries about me being a man when I leave campus. He says if he doesn't develop me as a man and make sure I have a degree when I leave, then he failed. He said it's way bigger than football, and he wants me to be a successful man no matter what." It was the right fit when he sat down to talk to me about that. It opened my eyes a lot. So, I mean, we've heard it from every offensive lineman that's committed, just about all of them that are being targeted by Florida State, that Alex Atkins, he's just real with you. He's got a genuine approach. Things don't change from when they were talking over the phone to now when they're able to meet in person. I mean, this is a guy, he's completely changed the offensive line room at Florida State in almost a year. And I mean, you keep up this momentum on the recruiting trail, Florida State is going to have one of the best offensive lines in the country down the line, which is insane to say after what we've seen, in recent history.
That's a big quote, D-Lou. D-Lou just went on a little tangent there, but the big quote there, I'm gonna hold you to. But I do agree with you. I mean, like we were saying earlier, that's motivating to see. You're bringing in the best talent on the offensive line as recruits coming in that you haven't seen in a while, but you're also building depth behind it. If things just go sideways for a few guys, you're building depth behind it, and you're bringing a nasty dog. That's the biggest thing that I like, is that I'm seeing the mentality of mean guys up there at the front. I don't want sweet guys. I don't want some sissy dudes up there. I want someone that beats a living, blank out of you and bullies you off to the sideline, which we've watched. We have a video out for 10 minutes talking about how violent these guys are, and I'm in love with it so far. And you're right, Coach Atkins needs to get whatever kind of commission added on to what's going on this upcoming year. Got to keep them in town, got to keep them in tally. Keep Atkins in tally, hashtag. But I think that's practically going to do it. Thank you so much for everyone watching. If you wouldn't mind, definitely hit a like, comment down below, and subscribe. Let us know about what you think about this commitment for Florida State. Let us know down in the comments if I can speak correctly. But I definitely appreciate everybody watching. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's weekend. Make sure you guys in the Discord too. A lot of stuff popping. See you guys.